The inspiration behind areas overlooked in addiction recovery goes back to a support group meeting I was attending. I've been involved in several support groups in my recovery. And this one in particular, it was an in person meeting in the evening. And it was one of those times where we are celebrating milestones. It's usually uh, an important part of the process of acknowledging progress made by men who are struggling and trying to get sober. And so here I am. I'm attending the meeting. Fix my glasses. I'm attending the meeting, and I think I'm either on my second or third year of sobriety. It's a big time. Uh, I wouldn't call myself an old timer uh, because old timers, they cannot be sober. They've just been around for a while. But I was definitely successful. 2 or 3 years in this particular group is a very big deal. And so when it's a big situation like this, uh, they usually give the person an opportunity to say some words of encouragement to everyone else who's in the room. So if you can imagine, I'm sitting in a meeting and roughly 25, 30 people in a big circle, and we're all kind of facing one another. And they say, "Hey, Tony, would you like to say any words to the group?" It's like, okay. I was kind of put on the spot. I wasn't expecting it. So it was something I had been thinking about earlier in that day. It's like, well, sobriety is not enough. That's all I said. Um, but suddenly the room went quiet. You could hear a pin drop, but you could also, I felt like I could hear the popping of everyone's necks as they turned to look at me, like, out of, say what? Because you have to understand, in traditional support groups, they only focus on one aspect of recovery, and that is getting sober, to stop acting out. And that is definitely a very important part of recovery, but that is not all of recovery. But that's not necessarily mentioned or even construed because it's all about, how do I stop behaving in this way? What kind of barriers do I need to put up to prevent my access to the things that I act out with? So when when I introduced this, what would have been a novel idea, into this group, um, they were taken back by it, and that's when I realized, oh, okay, um, this is probably something I need to work on one with people, rather than just kind of blurting it all out there in a group, uh, because they weren't really ready for it or ready to hear it. Definitely surprised by it. And I was like, okay. They don't know that there are areas that they haven't even started working on yet. Because you need to understand, it's like, if I'm attending this group, it's because I'm trying to stop this behavior, and I'm here to get help in stopping this behavior. And once I accomplish that, I'm good. And that's not the entirety of recovery. In my coaching practice, I talk about the three areas of recovery. So getting sober is one of them. There's also the understanding of, how did it develop in the first place? Where is it coming from? There's a lot of introspection that needs to be done. In addition, I have not yet met someone who suffers with addiction that has a very good handle on their emotional awareness. And so this is what I describe as emotional equity: building and developing the capacity to understand what's going on inside of this, so that we can better relate to ourselves and to other people, especially our primary partners. All right, so that's the inspiration.